This is Burnout Paradise Remastered. We're here on the Nintendo Switch 2. Be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well. So this is a great game from the 360 era where it has been brought back and touched up for what was the current gen consoles at the time, including the Nintendo Switch. Now this is a game that really did kind of push boundaries for destruction, open world action, and some killer music that is very nostalgic to the particular period of time. If you were around then, you know what I'm talking about. The soundtrack for this game is pretty killer, but you know, copyright and all that stuff, you know, you're not going to be hearing it, so you get what you get. So this is a game that actually did push the original Nintendo Switch quite a bit, and then here with the Switch 2 and the overhead here, we're actually getting a bit better of an experience in regards to having a smoothly locked frame rate, which is fantastic and what you want to see when you are diving in, playing something through the back compat setup that is present on a console. You want things to run better, you don't want them to run worse, of course, and yeah, it does look like the extra power head here, power overhead that is, actually allows us to get something that does play a lot smoother. I mean, it's still the jaggedy sort of sub 1080p experience that we were having prior. It just actually now runs at the frame rate that we were kind of expecting it to run. Not to say that it was like necessarily horrible on the first Switch, you know, it was still a fine time. It was just, you know, there were some drops and stuff when you were playing the game here or there for frame rate, but no, even then it was kind of fine, and now it's nice and smooth, so that's kind of spectacular and awesome. If you're not familiar with the game, you get to dive into this paradise, and you get the full scope of the game, you get all the content, everything like that, because this is, you know, a remastered package for this game. It was one of those titles that you kind of thought were just going to be sort of lost to time, as to say, due to licensing and whatnot, but they were actually able to pull off a remaster for this one, and I think the results here were pretty spectacular, you know what I mean? Like, it's allowing us to enjoy the full scope of, like, the offline, the online stuff, all the different modes, all the different action, playing alone, playing with others, doing various, I guess, races and challenges, and everything's present here. And it's all just like it was back in the day, which to me is quite exciting if you were a fan of this experience. So it's 900p, and it's